everybody, and welcome to Tell Us Spark After Dark. Are you enjoying your evening? I love this. Looks like there's some fascinators that they've been making. Have you guys been making those here? Oh, nice. I missed it. I love a fascinator. I want to welcome you to our last speaker of the evening. Domingo was named one of Avenues Magazine's Best Dressed in 2019 and 2021. And they bought your own posse, so that's always good, right? Words are hard at this time of night. I'm usually asleep. Use fashion to become a creative warrior that he is. Flamboyant all around, his day job allows him to button down while maintaining his creativity and championing equity, diversity, and inclusion. As a vocal LGBTQ plus community member, immigrant, and self-professed change agent, Domingo's mission is to shift outside-the-box experiences as the new in. Welcome, and I look forward to your speech.
Excellent, thank you. My name is Domingo Lumanog, and I'm a change agent. So it's throughout my career, whether fashion or corporate or speaking engagements like tonight, it really is a privilege because it allows me to be engaged with such an audience, such as yourself tonight. And all I really hope as a change agent is for everyone in this room to have an open heart and use the mind to accept and acknowledge style and expression. So we tonight are talking about one of my favorite topics when do all these workshops. It's about style versus fashion. We're going to dive into that a little bit tonight. But really, by the end of this evening, is I want you to take a look at 3 key things so that when you go home and say, oh, you know what? I met this guy and he was talking about style versus fashion. It's really about uncovering your style. Okay. And maybe in the process of this in the next half an hour is to ask yourself, what has been my style? What has been the fashion that I have chosen? And at the end of it, you will be taking away a toolkit, a worksheet, a knowledge, hopefully, that you can take with you and you can use fashion to express your style. So, going into our theme tonight, it is about fashion tech. So, firstly, let us define why this is taking over our streets and our wardrobe. Okay, here we go. I strongly believe that technical fashion is the future of the fashion industry. It has the potential to revolutionize the way we dress and interact with our clothing, while street fashion, as you know, couture, sportswear, may have been around for many years. It's rapidly losing its ground to innovate and forward-thinking designs of technical fashion. Oh, what did I do? There we go. Now, technical fashion, as you can read here, it's really about innovation, enhancing the functionality, performance, and aesthetics of the garment. So technical fashion may be avant-garde, but avant-garde is not necessarily technical fashion. And you're wondering, the third point that I wanted to really get you take tonight is a toolkit. How do I integrate technical fashion in my everyday life? So stay tuned, okay? One of the many reasons why technical fashion is the future is its ability to seamlessly blend fashion with technology. Designers are incorporating features like waterproofing, makes sense now, right? Temperature regulation, and advanced sensors that sometimes also can track biometric data. Features which makes technical fashion not only stylish, but also practical and functional. Many technical brands, especially in fashion, are focused on reducing their carbon footprint by using sustainable materials, such as recycled plastics, fabrics made from renewable sources. So you see here, this is it is lagging. It is one of my favorite designer, Iris Van Harten, and they are a couture house or a design house in Dutch, and they really are known to integrate mycelium, silicone coating, biopolymer. There's a brand that I cannot say that it's going to come out tonight, and somebody's going to shout it out to me. These are biodegradable materials, again, that are made from renewable sources. Luminix. So these materials are a combination that actually provides you the ability to see a different shine and texture into the fabric. It also allows for designers to have design depth. This commitment to sustainability is not only good for the environment, but also to those customers and consumers who are really conscious about what's happening in the planet right now. Also, technical, oh, what's happening? Is it working? Okay. So also, technical fashion has the potential to disrupt traditional fashion supply chains by providing more customizable and personalized option for consumers. With advancement in technology, consumers now can use augmented reality. So this is an example of what you see in here, and I'll mention the designer in a bit here. This level of personalization and customization is something that non-technical fashion can offer. Blending fashion with technology, sustainability, innovation, and personalization, it is really clear that technical fashion is pushing the boundaries of what is possible in the fashion industry. So we were talking about technical fashion and avant-garde. Now, there are two very different styles that share a passion for innovation and creativity. The approach, the focus, wearability may intertwine. However, in their design, the ability to function and innovate. But avant-garde is all about creativity and pushing boundaries in a bold manner. And manner is a word that you need to remember because it's going to come out in a bit here. Now, often experimental designs that challenges our ideas of what fashion can be. On the other spectrum, conceptual versus functional, creativity versus innovation, practicality versus wearability. So what you're looking at here is a 3D modeling and animation by the design house, and you can shop it. We are in tech tonight, so I'm sure you guys heard of NFT. Raise your hand if you heard of NFT. Yeah. So this is a brand, a digital fashion house that creates entirely virtual garments using 3D modeling and animation, the Fabricant. So you may have seen so many examples, or maybe on your social media that's coming out where literally an individual who is on screen can really just change an outfit, throw it in and out with no qualms. This line and this website and this design house provides you with a license to own a piece virtually. Cool, right? Now, how does that tie into uncovering your style and fashion, right? So let's first, for the sake of this conversation that we're having tonight, define what style is. So style, as you may be able to read here, really is about your mannerism. So if somebody talks really fast, that's their style. You know, person so-and-so, they're abrupt, or when they're stressed, they run, that's their style. It's their mannerism. It is something that their go-to. It is something that they were almost born and really skillfully throughout growing have added layers or maybe extracted a layer like an onion, okay? Versus fashion. Now, fashion is found in the streets. One of the better designers that have ever lived in this world is Karl Lagerfeld, and he said that fashion is found in the streets. So these are your trends. These are the pieces of clothing that's on your back or the model's back or in the mall, right? Who has ever been to a mall here? I think everybody has been in a mall here, right? So everything that is conceptualized by designers, that is passed on, it is really a fashion. So a fashion can also be tied into things that you do. For example, you are classic, right? That is you're trendy. So it kind of reflects. So that's why it's a little bit interesting because style and fashion are very interchangeable, but the mannerism and the output is through fashion. So tonight, the toolkit starts really right here. How do we integrate your ability to uncover the style that you have in order for you to use fashion to express who you really are? So let's figure out how that looks like. I always just say, this is gold here. Throughout my career as a stylist, again, as a person that has gone through, if you are born in the 70s, you will maybe recognize the term image consultant. Okay, that's good. I'm not all by myself. These are your mechanism in order for you to be able to see what color suits you and everything like that. But we've narrowed it down to elements of an outfit, or what I say, dressing to express formula. It's all about expression. So if you see the cornerstone of that presentation in the slide, it's really all about your shoes. Now, when we create a statement, no matter what a statement is, it could be a sentence. Again, it's very interchangeable. There's always a what? A punctuation. And that punctuation completes the phrase, the thought, and the process that goes behind it. And this is what shoes does. Okay? Now, question. Do I really have to think of the shoes first, or which one? If you see in the graph here behind us or in front of you, there's 3 circles that are intertwined, and the middle ground of it is shoes. Not only that you're standing both feet grounded, this is also can be a connection that you have not only inner, but also to the world. It only takes 7 seconds to create that first impression. So why not maximize it? Somebody came up to me today or tonight and said, when do we ever wear fashionable clothes? And I said, well, all the time. If that's your style, then go ahead. Who has ever watched Sex and the City here? Right? For those of you who doesn't know or who don't know what Sex and the City, it's really categorizing just generally 4 types of individual. You've got your sporty, right? Just like the Spice Girls, but Spice Girls I think is 5, right? So you've got sporty, you've got the classic, you've got the trendy, and you've got the sexy one, okay? So with that said, how do you encapsulate it, okay? So shoes, accessories, tops and bottoms. I always just like to start with accessories. What are your accessories? All right, so mental note, write this down. This is your toolkit. Accessories starts with whatever you have that you will put on your body. It's either clothes. I can see a hat. I can see a glimmer of light for tech fashion tonight. So that's good. Welcome. Very fantastic. Looking really great. A tube, glasses, and ultimately as well, your skin. It is the biggest organ that you have. And if we don't take care of your skin, then how do we feel sexy when we're naked? And I don't know why I'm whispering, especially when you talk about sex positivity, but seriously, right? The first thing you put on as well is underwear, right? There was once a joke that my ex told me, said, why do you always like to buy the most luxurious underwear? It's because I don't wear a brassiere, right? And if I were to choose, I'd rather have bottom nothing, and I will have a really, really good bra. And that is for the women. Please, don't even think about the bottom. Just think about this. You can test it with a t-shirt, see a good bra, put a t-shirt on, and then see a bad bra, put a t-shirt on, no bra, put a t-shirt on. It is night and day. Now, talking about tech fashion, right? There's a lot of elements that goes towards that. It's the first thing you put on, and it's the last thing you put out. So the joke, coming back to my ex, saying, oh, do you put your panties or knickers on top of your pants because you want to show it to the world? No. This is, again, it will come up, mannerism. This is your self-love because it touches your skin, and that is the biggest accessory that you have. How awesome would that be? If somebody caresses you, it's just even yourself touching yourself and be like, woo! glides down. That's the best accessory. Moisturize, especially in this weather, which is really, really dry. Tops. Okay, so we've done accessories. So tops. Now, same with your knickers or your sports bra or your, those newfound technologically inclined uh, balls holder for the men, right? Innovative technology. Thank you. Beautiful. Like SAXX. We're not sponsored tonight, but if you are watching, please do. Those are a combination of materials. So tonight, everybody was saying, how do we integrate tech fashion into our everyday life? It is all about fabrication. I grew up with my mother being a pattern maker, and I have always had the appreciation about fabrics. Spandex, one of the biggest fabrics that it just amazes me is visco. I don't know if you go shopping and you go and look at the little tag and what the fabric is made out of. Majority of the lining is made of acetate, and it's a derivative. It's an innovation. It's an evolution of all of these different things. And can you imagine bamboo, lycra, and spandex together? OMG, right? I think that's what Lululemon really made their billions on. But again, Lululemon, if you're watching, please sponsor us, right? So here you can see you've got your tech fabric. So this is where I call out a friend. What is that brand again? Arc'teryx. I can never say it. It's that Gore-Tex. It's that jacket. It's that really canvas fabrication that is lined with something that is a little bit more waterproof, right? Or water resistant, I should say. In the middle there, you can see the pleats, which is kind of the inspiration. This is what I saw in my closet. I haven't worn in a long time. And really, it incorporates, again, who you are as a person with a style, and then the fashion that's available for what type of person you are. So if you're sporty, go wear your Gore-Tex, whatever that brand is. Or you can wear your Lululemon, but just don't wear your Lululemon outside unless you're working out, because leggings are not pants. Or if you really want to, please cover the situation, okay? All right. You can see at last the last there, which is, one of the major designers always use is the poly type blend material with Luminex, which is that gives you that shine, gives you a little bit of texture with a little bit of that gleam towards a different coloring. So that is your accessories, tops, and then you go to the bottoms. One of my favorite designer that I've actually followed since he started, Louis Ruby, LR3, based out of Paris. It's the picture to the left. Now, this is not only a gender fluid outfit, fashion, or a design, a style. It is also really for every body, because style is not the size. One day you might be a size 2. I certainly have been a 00, and now I'm a size 8, and I'm loving it. And guess what you do? The first thing you do is you go, that's right. Yeah. You go into a store, you go and find what fits you. If it feels good, rip off that, can we bleep this? Stupid tag. Right? And then just go on with your day. Right? So there are so many fashion items out there now that does reflect that, not only the virtue that you have within, but also how you want to represent yourself moving forward. You have Hussein. I don't know if you've ever remembered this. This is in the mid 90s, if not late 90s, where it is really made out of a metal material. And it's very similar to the spray-on technology where Gigi Hadid was walking. Yeah, very, very fantastic. But really, bottoms are about what goes on from the hip down. Mark's Work Wearhouse. It's a lot of brands because I'm really trying to incorporate whoever it is that where you guys are shopping. And these are tech fabric, and these are wicker resistant, and all of those antiperspirant, all those things are technology, and use it to your benefit. And there are so many fits that are available where once you discovered who you are as a person and insightfully, the style comes out and then the fashion gets to express that style. All right, so accessories, tops, bottoms. The punctuation, right? It's always a difference when you have a statement and there's a comma, that means you pause. If there's a period, that means you stop. If there's an exclamation point, that means you are excited. And that's what shoes are all about. First picture that you see here to my right left, that would be your very famous Balenciaga design. It's kind of like, every designer always kind of just blends in. Nike, all that air, all that technology. It's very light, it's very soft. And who will ever forget the Armadillo shoes from one of the second best designer, Alexander McQueen. God bless those souls. Using a potential 3D mechanism and modeling in order for that to show the vision. And that's, again, cross with the avant-garde with your tech fashion. And lastly, it's every goddamn shoes you see on the streets. It's always saying tech is everywhere. So uncovering your style is something that you have to look in yourself in the mirror and say, okay, who am I? What do I represent? And guess what? Did you know that the skin changes your chemical, depending on which age bracket you are, between 3 to 7 years? So if you're wearing that foundation since you were 18 and you're already like 18 and a half, just like me, but this is like 7 years in real calculation, you may really want to evaluate your toiletry drawer, because that accessory skin situation, it changes. However many people here have experienced when they bought lipstick 3 years ago and all of a sudden right? This used to be peach or nude, and all of a sudden, why do I see purple in the corner? Or why does it become red? It's because the oxidation, your diet, your everything changes, right? And it can only go upward, even if our age makes us go downward. I don't know if that makes sense, but in my mind at that time, it did. All right, so tips and advice. Now, manner. Start looking inward. One of the things that is very pivotal in my life was a 2-year-old comes up to me and asks, "What are you?" So if somebody, I believe they are here in the audience, there's a bit of a light in my head so I can't see everybody. Where do we wear all these fashion? Everywhere you can wear them. At home, in bed, right? During the pandemic, I had always shoes on, excuse me, in order for me to feel that I actually feel alive. That works for me. It doesn't mean that it works for everybody, but really look at yourself and say, okay, who are you? You guys have, everybody here, ladies and gentlemen, have the privilege to ask, who am I, right? Not like the 2-year-old that asked me, what am I? And that really put things in perspective. That's why I became a change agent. Anytime I can share that story, I will. Experiment with different styles. When I was 7 years old, my first pair of shoes was this zebra that were super high from my mother. And I never looked back since. However, at times I regretted it because it's the only way that I feel beautiful. But I can't wear it every day. And guess what? You evolved, you stick to your guns, and guess what? I wear them every day now. Yay! So it does happen when you make it happen. Take note of what works. Now, this is really interesting because a lot of designers or personal stylists or whoever that is providing you advice about clothing and fashion would say, never buy the same item in different colors. And I say the opposite. If you find a shirt, especially for men, who has a bit of a different fit, like the, what is that, the martini cut or the regular, the boxy, there's so many out there. If it fits you, buy it in every single color. Tell the SA and say, hey, you, every time this comes out, call me. The texture, the pattern, the color, however, because that is the fit and that is the brand. And sometimes, again, it changes every 3 to 7 years. But I do know somebody that's still wearing their high school pants. So you're very lucky. Good for you. Those do exist. All right. Pay attention to fit. Now, the reason why there's a big difference between a designer piece and a non-designer piece, which really by the end of it, everybody's a designer, right? However, it is really the approach of going back to the topic tonight. And that's why I was very excited to be speaking tonight, because you can really highlight the technology about textile, fabrication. So I encourage everybody in the next few to go into a mall and say, you know what? This is a $5 t-shirt versus a $300 t-shirt. And really look at that label that is making up that material, and you will be surprised the major difference, because cotton is not made the same. Yeah? Accessorize strategically. Accessorizing strategically, which means that you just don't moisturize your hands if you are wearing long sleeve shirts, because that's the only thing that actually people can see. And if you're ashy and dry, it's not a very good look. But it's really something that you can coordinate. If you have a watch that you have invested in that is technologically savvy, can do everything, then keep that watch and make that inspiration and go with the whole capsule collection. And this is something that also, if you're interested, I'm happy to provide an insight individually, and I'll tell you how to do that later or in a bit here, to create that capsule collection, because that really also eliminates your ability to hoard. We're talking about tech fashion, and tech fashion is the next generation because it is really what catapults recycling, all the materials that are renewable, and it's better for the future. And this is the reason why tech fashion is the future. Find inspiration. Every year, who does scrapbooking or doing a vision board here? Very good, very good, very good. There's a few hands, very good. Finding inspiration is really important, because that is also a way that you can manifest what is next for me. There's millions upon millions of people around the world. And guess what? If you feel that you're the only person that this instance, experience, or fit, or frustration that you can't get into the t-shirt, especially white t-shirt, because you have grown from a 00 to size 8, just like what I'm dealing right now, there's another maybe million of people that are in the same boat as you. So use that and remind yourself that there are inspiration out there. You just have to find them. And also, if anybody is single here, because tonight is date night, right? Or, let's find a date maybe. They will also find you when you show up. So I'm glad that you guys are here. Good. Now, I want everybody to take out all their phones and scan this QR code, because what we're talking about tonight is showing up. And when we talk about technical fashion, it is a tool for progress, promoting self-expression, maximizing performance, comfort, and safety as you push the boundaries to uncover who you are, your style, and use tech fashion so that you can evolve. Follow me, and everybody that follows me tonight will be putting in a draw on May 6th. We Are Mod, which is a gala that we're putting together. The theme is Born a Star. You get to be with a paparazzi photographer that can really catapult who you are inside, and celebrating not only access to incredible healthcare, but also being around the tribe of people that have the same outlook, looking for inspiration or maybe have found inspiration that are willing to share. Now, my name is Domingo. I'm a change agent. And if you message me on Instagram after you follow me, I am happy to provide you with all of these insight, the presentation, and also the workbook that I have created for the ATBS, which is your formula to dressing. And use tech. Thank you.